It's Tuesday, October 5th, and this is now on HNN. Breaking news, an investigation is underway following an attack near Sunset Beach that injured multiple people.
And that doesn't seem to be listened to right now.
Struggling businesses are trying to get their message to leaders, saying professionally managed events are safe.
They're paying for their profits right now.
A former Facebook employee warns of the platform's dangers facing teenagers. I'm Skyler Henry on Capitol Hill with more from the Senate hearing and the tech giant's reaction.
Exhibit that's going to help us.
Plus, dinosaurs take over Bishop Museum in the latest exhibit. These stories and more coming up on This Is Now.
Good afternoon. Thank you for watching This Is Now. We begin with breaking news at this hour. HPD is investigating an attack near Sunset Beach on Oahu's North Shore.
This is very much a developing story. Right now we know 4 people were hurt. 1 person was critically injured. We want to take it now to Allison Blair, who is live in Haleiwa with the latest details. Allie.
Hey, Ashley, this is still a very active scene out here as Honolulu police try and piece together what happened this morning. Within the past hour, officers blocked the road off with crime tape and so far have not given us any official information as to what took place. Witnesses tell us they heard a man yelling just before 9 this morning. Not long after, there were sirens. Police sources say 3 victims may have been injured with a knife. We're told that the suspect was also taken to the hospital. According to preliminary information from EMS, 1 person was transported to Kahuku Medical Center in extremely critical condition. 2 people were being taken to Queens Medical Center in serious condition, and 1 person with minor injuries declined transport. Neighbors tell me this is generally a very quiet neighborhood. We're going to continue to check back with police for new details throughout the day. Continue to check on air and online for updates. For now, we're live near Sunset Beach. Allison Blair, Hawaii News Now.
Well, this video just in from the nation's capital. Listen as the Washington National Cathedral tolls its funeral bell 700 times in memory of the 700,000 American lives lost due to COVID-19.
Here at home, the state health department is reporting 91 new COVID cases today, the lowest number of infections in the state in recent weeks. The breakdown by island shows 53 cases were on Oahu, 15 on the Big Island, 12 on Maui, and 7 on Kauai. There were also 4 residents diagnosed out of state. Johnson & Johnson is asking the FDA to approve its COVID-19 booster shot. J&J submitted data showing its booster increases immunity to 94% when given 2 months after the first dose and boosts immunity response 12-fold when given at 6 months. J&J says protection from its vaccine remains stable over time. That's in contrast to Pfizer, which told officials its vaccine efficacy wanes over time. The FDA already approved Pfizer's booster, but only for specific groups like people ages 65 and older. The agency will consider whether to approve boosters for J&J and Moderna at the end of the week.
Well, the group known as the Hawaii Events Coalition is planning a rally for Thursday at 10 a.m. at the state capitol. They say they want to get their message across to state leaders that professionally managed events are safe. They just held a media briefing. I want to play out a portion of what they had to say.
Not only are we concerned, but frankly, the Hawaii Events Coalition is the standard for how to produce safe events. And that doesn't seem to be listened to right now as an option. And that's really unfortunate. If you've done the right things and you've gotten your vaccination or you stayed up with maintaining not only your health, but exposing the health to a detriment to health to others, honestly, you should be rewarded for that. You should be able to have an expanded life. It is safer to go to a professionally structured event than it is to go to Costco, to go to the bank, do the things that we do on a regular basis. So here we are. And it's time to at least let it be known that it's just not all accepted and going by.
Well, on the heels of yesterday's big outage, a Facebook whistleblower just testified before Congress today. She says the social media platform poses a danger to teens. Skylar Henry is standing by with all the developments that unfolded on Capitol Hill.
They're paying for their profits right now with our safety.
Frances Haugen testified before a Senate subcommittee Tuesday about the need for greater oversight and transparency of Facebook.
The choices being made inside of Facebook are disastrous for our children, for our public safety.
The whistleblower worked as a product manager on Facebook's civic integrity team, but left the company earlier this year.
Regularly, integrity actions, projects that were hard fought by the teams trying to keep us safe, are undone by new growth projects.
Haugen told lawmakers Facebook and Instagram use algorithms to target teens, exposing them to dangerous content that could make them develop eating disorders.
Facebook understands that if they want to continue to grow, they have to find new users. And the way they'll do that is by making sure that children establish habits before they have good self-regulation.
By hooking kids.
By hooking kids.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are united in condemning Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and vowed to enact reforms.
Here's my message for Mark Zuckerberg. Your time of invading our privacy, promoting toxic content, and preying on children and teens is over.
Facebook pushed back against Haugen's testimony in a statement, saying they don't agree with her characterization of the many issues she testified about.
If Facebook wants to discuss their targeting of children, I am extending to you an invitation to step forward, be sworn in, and testify.
The company says it agrees it's time to create standard rules for the internet and has called on Congress to act. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
UFC fighter BJ Penn says he's running to be the next governor of Hawaii, and he made the announcement on Instagram. His post reads in part, quote, "I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but I would never run from a fight or sell out my people. As soon as I step into Hawaii's governor's office, I will remove all new federal and state mandates that have been hurting our economy, residents, and Ohana." He goes on to say, quote, "I am not here to fit in with the other politicians. I am here to get our freedoms back." Penn has had run-ins with the law, including a recent DUI arrest. The governor's race is set for next year with the general election in November, and other candidates expected to run include Lieutenant Governor Josh Green, former Honolulu Mayor Kirk Caldwell, and businesswoman and former First Lady Vicky Cayetano. The FAA says incidents involving unruly airline passengers are at their highest level in months. More issues were reported in the last week than any week since July 20th. A majority of the disruptions, 72%, were over the federal transportation mask mandate. More than 4,600 incidents have been reported so far this year. The FAA says it has a zero-tolerance policy for unruly passengers. Incredible new video shows first responders using what some call a miracle drug to reverse opioid overdoses. Just a warning, this video may be tough to watch. With the first of two reports, here's our chief investigative reporter, Lynn Kawano.
Every police department in Hawaii now has Narcan available for officers. Maui police distributed the medicine to patrol back in 2018 and have used it several times to save people who overdosed, including a teenager. In body camera video we obtained, you'll see why Narcan is being recommended in homes. Maui police officers respond to a reported overdose at a Wailuku residence.
I'll get my item.
One officer takes a pack of Narcan from a patrol car and hands it to another officer, who runs up the driveway and into a back bedroom. The sergeant is there with an unconscious teenager. He gives her a dose of Narcan. And watch what happens.
There you go. There you go. Hello. How you doing? There you go. Schedule coming around. Hey.
The girl regains consciousness within seconds.
Okay? Huh? I don't know, you tell me. What'd you do? What'd you take? Huh? Did you hurt yourself? What happened? You just passed out?
The sergeant is amazed at how quickly the Narcan worked and reminds his officers to keep some with them on patrol.
If you guys don't have Narcan, put it in your thing because we have it at the station.
Narcan, as it's commonly called, or naloxone, is becoming easier to get as opioid use and abuse grows. It comes in two forms, a nasal version and an injectable. This one is a little bit more difficult. It's a little bit more cumbersome, especially if the person distributing is panicking during the overdose. But it's one dose in this little vial. You fill the needle and you have to inject it into a muscle, like the arm or the leg. The other version is much easier. It's a nasal spray. You stick it in a nostril, one pump, and that's one dose.
Hi, my dear. What can I do for you today?
Naloxone is now one of the many items handed out at the Hawaii Health and Harm Reduction Center's needle exchange van in Chinatown.
Anybody who is taking an opioid medication for any reason is at risk for overdose, especially medically frail or, elderly. Grandma might have forgotten that she took her medication, and you think she's just napping on the couch, and I mean, it makes me sad to think that there could have been a lot of, overdoses with elderly that we don't realize.
Arming first responders has helped, but making Narcan more readily available in homes of opioid patients or users can save minutes and lives. Narcan can be purchased at pharmacies with a prescription and is covered by most insurance. The FDA is considering making it an over-the-counter medicine. I'm Lynn Kawano, Hawaii News Now.
Tonight in part 2 of Lynn's special report, how drug use in Hawaii is evolving. Why is it easier for dealers to sell to teens? And what are outreach workers doing to keep up?
An important update to pass along. The oil spill off the coast of Southern California might be bigger than initially thought. The city of Huntington Beach says the maximum potential is 144,000 gallons. The initial estimate was 126,000 gallons. A leak in an oil pipeline is behind the spill. The governor has declared a state of emergency. President Biden hit the road today selling his infrastructure plan to the American public, but it remains stalled in Congress. Natalie Brand has those details.
President Biden took his infrastructure push on the road to a union training facility in Howell, Michigan, as the progressive and moderate wings of his party remain stuck in gridlock.
These bills are not about left versus right or moderate versus progressive. They're about opportunity versus decay.
It's 50-50 in the Senate, 3-vote margin in the House.
Vermont Congressman Peter Welch is one of several Democrats who have spoken with the president this week to hash out a way forward on the roughly $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill and a larger social spending measure.
We're going to have to come down on the number, and we may have to come down on the duration, and we may have to come down on the scale.
CBS News has confirmed the new range mentioned by the president is around $2 trillion, down from the original $3.5 trillion price tag and closer to what was proposed by West Virginia's Joe Manchin, a key Democratic vote in the Senate.
I'm not ruling anything out, but the bottom line is I want to make sure that we're strategic and do the right job, and we don't basically add more to the concerns we have right now.
Meanwhile, Congress has less than 2 weeks to raise the federal debt ceiling, or else the U.S. could run out of money to pay its bills.
It's not in dispute that the debt ceiling needs to be addressed. The only issue is who does it.
We are willing to cast the 50 votes ourselves. All he has to do is get out of the way.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer plans to bring up a House-passed measure to suspend the debt limit Wednesday. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
Back here at home, we have an update regarding the eruption.
That's right. 6 days into the new Hale Ma'u eruption, the alert level at Kilauea has been lowered from red to orange. Now, scientists say the ongoing eruption will not threaten areas outside Volcanoes National Park. The USGS says the lava lake rose about 7 feet in 24 hours, and the lava fountains are shooting about 66 feet into the air.
Can't get enough of those images. Let's take you live outside. The time is now 12:15. Guy Hoggy's back in the weather center for us and saying it's going to get a little windy. Hey, Guy.
The trade winds are here to stay for a while. In fact, we're in for a long run of breezy trade wind weather. Rainfall will be pretty minimal because whatever rain comes through will be pushed along by these breezy winds that limits the rainfall buildup. Flooding's not an issue for the next several days. Going to be especially windy from Maui all the way to Kauai. So again, steady winds today. They're going to get stronger tomorrow, and they will hold firm at about 15 to 25 miles an hour all the way through Friday. And then as we head into the weekend, the winds are going to get even stronger. Wind advisories might have to be posted at that time. But overall, the weather pattern's not going to change aside from those strong winds because rainfall will remain minimal. So again, hang on to the little kids because it's going to be very windy from Friday to next week.
All right, with Facebook and Instagram back, we were able to find quite a few more stories for our From the Feeds segment. And the first one is a good old favorite of Ashley's and mine. Food! Kellogg's is giving fans of Wendy's Frosty their favorite dessert for breakfast. So listen up. The cereal maker is teaming up with the fast food chain to make Wendy's Frosty chocolatey cereal.
Yum!
Yeah, it sounds good, actually. The limited edition cereal contains crispy cocoa-coated round bites and chocolate-flavored marshmallow pieces. It also, now this is important, Ashley, it also includes a coupon for free Frosty from Wendy's.
Well, of course.
Yeah. It should hit stores in December, and on the mainland, at least, it's going to cost about $3.99. I betcha it's going to cost a little more here.
Yeah, we are big Frosty fans, Jonathan.
I love dipping fries in it.
Oh, yeah. And cereal is like my weakness.
Yeah. Oh, I was enjoying some cinnamon toast crunch last night. No lie.
Adele, I love. She is confirming the release of a new song. So she tweeted the song is called Easy on Me and will drop next Friday. Now, the Grammy Award-winning singer hasn't released any new music since her 2015 album 25. Can you believe that?
I cannot believe that because her music is so relevant and she's still such a big icon and pop star diva. Like, how could that be that long?
That just seems so long ago. Anyway, some of her fans have shared pictures of billboards saying, quote, 30, which is what she has previously revealed as the title of her new album. Adele has not revealed a release date for it yet.
Well, I will be eager and waiting.
I saw a picture of her, too, posted on Instagram recently, and she looked fabulous. I forget where it was from, though.
Yeah, she's dating someone new as well.
That's probably why.
More food news.
Yep. Grey Poupon is now selling a white wine.
Whoa.
So the limited edition white is made with grapes from southern France and infused with mustard seeds. So Kraft Heinz says it features hints of spice and citrus with floral characteristics. They say it's a perfect pairing with sandwiches to spice up any lunch if you're drinking at lunch. And it costs $30 for a standard bottle and comes with a jar of Grey Poupon.
Yeah, with lunch. Why not? Enjoy, guys. One more fun snack news to get a lot out there. Snickers, right?
Yeah, so Snickers has released a new flavor, cinnamon bun. It's available at Walmart for a limited time starting this month. The treat, they say, is similar to the original Snickers, but the nougat is a cinnamon flavor, and the company says it's supposed to evoke feelings of fall.
Yeah, it seems like a good winter flavor.
Never
there.
had a Snickers, so couldn't tell you.
Sorry, peanut allergy.
It's fine.
Friend. Well, I have something else we can check out. The Bishop Museum is changing things up, and for dinosaur lovers like myself, this is for you. Sammy Selena takes us to the new exhibit.
You, of course, have your T-Rex, you have your Torosaurus, and a lot of other dinosaurs you've probably never heard of. This exhibit goes until January 23rd, so you have plenty of time to meet all these guys. Expedition Dinosaur, Rise of the Mammals focuses on the day before and the years after the massive extinction that wiped out all of the dinosaurs. You'll learn about the asteroid impact that changed the world, their selfie opportunities, scary animatronics, and interactive opportunities. The museum says exhibits like this one is what kept it afloat during the pandemic.
We're actually at a really good pace. You know, dinosaurs is a exhibit that's going to help us. We've just closed our powwow exhibit that we saw a really good response to as well. Lots of exciting things happening at the museum, and thanks to the support of our members, of our community, again, we're at a really good place.
There is an additional exhibit fee that you pay, and the museum does have safety protocols in place. They're only selling 125 tickets per hour. And as a reminder, museums, they are held to the Safe Access Oahu requirements, so you want to make sure you have that proof of vaccination or that negative test result if you want to come into the museum. Sammy Solina for This Is Now.
And for our podcast listeners, Sammy's selfie opportunity
that was so good.
literally her inside a giant dinosaur's mouth and taking a selfie.
So great.
Pretty adorable there.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
Well, classic T-Rex all the way. Like, I'm the biggest Jurassic Park fan, other than Josh Meeks, who's our 10 p.m. producer. But I am a big T-Rex fan, always obsessed since I was in 6th grade, seeing it in the theaters.
Yeah.
So.
I like the Brontosaurus. I was a big Land Before Time kid. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't thought about that.
I know, that was a great one.
More entertainment.
We told you yesterday, William Shatner, the actor who originated the role, Captain James T. Kirk on Star Trek in the 60s, is about to travel to space for real as a passenger on board Blue Origin's next mission. Now, the 90-year-old joined the Today Show this morning to talk about how he's feeling about the launch and what he expects to learn from this flight.
It has a symmetry to it. There's a whole circle of life involved here. In more ways than one, and I'm thrilled and anxious and a little nervous and a little frightened about this whole new adventure. But I've got to think that once it's done, once I've been into space and seen the universe and seeing our Earth and the contrast between that hostility and this warmth, and how important it is to keep the Earth alive so that we don't wreck it. We human beings don't wreck it. That contrast in all of that is so dramatic to me. You know something? I really want to tell you the message that I get firsthand from seeing things that we've only heard about, things I've only played as an actor. I'm going to see firsthand. I want to come back and tell you about how I really felt when I saw these things that we've only learned about secondhand or thirdhand. I'm firsthand going to be in space.
I cannot wait till you come back, Mr. Shatner, and tell us all about it. And I can't believe he's 90 years old.
Fantastic.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I need to know his skincare routine for sure.
Me too. You guys, big reminder or programming note coming up on your digital platforms. We're going to do a one-on-one interview with Governor Ige live. So just stick around on Facebook. If you're there, we'll be popping up a live stream shortly, or just head to your H&N digital platforms. We will send out a push alert when that gets underway in about 5 to 10 minutes. So I wanted to leave you guys with something really beautiful. Albuquerque's Balloon Festival is underway right now. Here's some of the sights and sounds.